Too much development in your ward or other wards, or is it just the right amount? Is that an issue in this race? Are people saying there's too much development, it should be controlled better, should be less density, or is that not true in the 50th ward?
What do you mean too much development?
Well, there's some people who say that, you know, the developers are really controlling things as opposed to the residents who are there. They say
Well, I favor development. I'll not deny that I favor development.
You work closely with developers?
Well, I certainly try and control development.
You take campaign contributions from developers?
I certainly take campaign.
Think that's appropriate?
Of course it's appropriate. You can't get elected without taking campaign contributions.
But do they then expect some quid pro quo?
No, they don't get any quid pro quo.
They don't get any favors?
I don't take any bribes.
I don't necessarily. But do you think they have influence? Do they have influence over you?
No, absolutely not. Do I take campaign contribution? Yes. Do they have any influence over me? No. Do they have a friendship with me? Of course. Do I take campaign contributions? Yes. But that has no influence over who's my friend and who isn't my friend.
Should the developers be required to provide, when they build projects, a certain amount of affordable housing?
Absolutely.
Do you do that? Is that required now? Does the city ordinance require that?
Look, if they don't, we request that they do.
But and unless they do, you see they don't get the appropriate zoning? How do you require that? We work that out at the time that they present the project. Frankly, what I prefer that they do is build rental housing. I don't like all condo development. So you work that out with them?
I work that out with them.
And if they don't agree with you, then what happens?
I won't stop development because they won't agree with me. Generally speaking, what we do is we refer them to the local community organization. If there is no community organization, we'll try and get together with local residents. There's no need for a set, what some of my opponents are talking about, a community zoning board. Generally speaking, most of the community zoning boards are appointed by the alderman.
So you don't need it?
He controls, the local alderman controls the zoning board, and then he in effect says, well, my local zoning board has recommended it. He controls the zoning board. Sure, they recommend it. He tells them what to do. You know, I don't believe in phony things. I like it to come from the people, and this way I don't want control over something like that.